Hi, welcome to Inspiring Minds 711, the academic convenience store, where you can find fun, fast, and functional facts. Thank you for stopping by with me today, and I would like to invite you to subscribe, share, like the channel. And I also wanted to invite you over to the academicconvenience-store.com, where you can find more workshops. The Mega Math Bootcamp is coming up. There's tutoring services available on that site and more workshops in development as well. So thank you once again. But today we are looking at adding and subtracting decimals today. Adding and subtracting decimals. And so I know I've spoken a lot in the previous videos about the place value system. We've looked at how, the place value system is really two parts. It's two-sided, basically. You've got our numbers on the right side are our decimal numbers less than 1. We have our numbers on the right side, which are the numbers on the left side are our whole numbers, which are our values that get really, really big. Numbers on the decimal point side, the values get really, really small. And so today I wanted to take a look at adding and subtracting decimals because it kind of bridges the gap between both sides of the decimal point and how it's related still to the place value system. Okay, and so the big takeaway for today is that when adding and subtracting decimals, we always have to make sure we align our decimal point. And so I particularly wanted to focus on that, especially as you grow in math and go to, other grade levels. Your math becomes more algebraic. It becomes more horizontal, set up more in the fashion of an equation. And so in that sense is where I wanted to kind of focus on that today and look at how we can work with those numbers. And so, for example, when we're dealing with when we're adding and subtracting decimals, we oftentimes see it set up more vertically, where the numbers are kind of stacked up and down or on top of each other. In that case, your decimal point is already positioned. Your decimal point is already stationary. So you don't have to really worry about it until the end of after you're solving the problems, which I want to do in a few moments. But technically, when dealing with the decimal points where they're already kind of set up and stacked for you, it's not a lot to it other than adding accurately and bringing your decimal point down into your final answer, final results area. Okay, but technically, a lot of times you're going to see your problem set up here. And this is where a lot of our students run into some challenges, because it's not that they can't add or subtract, it's that they end up adding the wrong digits and the wrong values together. So if you're going to reposition your values, which is a good strategy to make sure you are aligning correctly, we recommend that you practice making sure that the values are grouped together correctly. So if I'm going to reposition this 8.37, I have to make sure that my ones digits are aligned together. My 10th TH, my 100th TH, my tens place over here. If you've been following me, you understand why I say 10th TH and 100th TH, because I want to make sure you know that I'm referencing the decimal side, the parts side. Okay. And so that's basically the gist of solving our, adding and subtracting problems, because we want to make sure those values are grouped up correctly. Oftentimes, if we don't make sure of that, we end up with inaccurate answers. And so math is about accuracy and precision. And so one way to do that when adding and subtracting decimals is to make sure we are aligning our digits correctly. And so we can go ahead and go ahead and solve, as you probably already saw the answer, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and do it again. And so here we go. 7 plus 6, we have here 13. And we're going to carry or regroup. I know when I was a kid, and those who are about my age, we used to call it carrying. Now it's regrouping. So, hey, however you want to call it. But 5 plus 3, that's 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, I go to my whole number side, my ones place, 8 plus 4, that's 12. Carry or regroup my 1, 2 plus 1 is 3. And notice I did not worry about my decimal point until the very end. I want to solve everything first, bring down my decimal point here. Okay, just again, we're aligning. So just take your pencil and just follow the decimal points that are currently in place and bring it right on down into your results area. Okay, so be very careful because you want to make sure you don't do something like this. Okay, and then you end up with, if you're dealing with dollar signs, $3.29 something cents versus, the actual answer, which is $32.93. Okay, so the same if you were to actually solve a subtraction problem, you'd start off in your furthest digit here, subtracting 6, going into your 10th TH, subtracting 8 from 4, and so forth. And so you would do the same thing, bring down your decimal point into the final results area. And so, so that's pretty much the big takeaway for today, is that you want to make sure that you're adding and subtracting the correct values, okay? Because that's what we're dealing with. We're in a place value system. So again, where those digits fall in place determines value. So you don't want to end up adding, digits that are in the 10th TH place with a digit in the ones place. Those values are not the same. It's like saying $3 versus 30 cents. Your values have to match. And so one way to ensure that is to make sure your digits are aligned, okay? So that's pretty much the most we have regarding adding and subtracting our decimal points. Also, another tool you could use if you're still struggling with that is it's nice to plug your decimal point, your digits, right into a place value chart or place value grid. I think I showed something similar to this before. So all you have to do is just take your digits, plug them right into where they fall in place. The digit right after the decimal point, your 10th TH, plug in that 6 in the 100th TH box, your 4 in the ones place, and so on, and your 2 in the tens place. And whatever digit you have going on, throw them into the grid and you can clearly have a visual of where those numbers fall as it relates to place value. Okay. And so that's a good tool to use, as well as to use a chart or a grid. But either way, your goal is accuracy. Math is about accuracy and precision. Some of the other subject areas like language arts, we can kind of have more wiggle room there. But with math, 1 plus 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. See? There we go. But 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay. There's not a lot of wiggle room around it. So, we want to be accurate. We want to be precise. We also want to be efficient. And so, that's the big takeaway for today. So when adding and subtracting your decimals, you want to make sure you align your decimals. Okay. And so, thank you so much for stopping by. Please go ahead and also visit the academicconvenience-store.com. I would love to see you all over there as well. Thank you so much. Next time.